Doing? Greetings from the Crypto Blitz, your go-to place for all things crypto. I'm Ripple Valen, your host. I hope they go by far too quickly after my fantastic weekend. Already Sunday is here, but you know what? A new month is quickly approaching. I'm going to start the second month of Q2. I can't wait for May. I don't know about you, but you really need to focus on this one right now since we have a lot to discuss. With Bitcoin's liquidity hovering around $96,500, 0 cents, the bears are stepping up. Well, guess what, bulls? People are piling up between $91, 0 cents K and $92, 0 cents K. At the moment, the altcoin market is generating the longest bullish divergence in history, which suggests a possible upward surge. In the meanwhile, XRP most likely leads all of the main cryptocurrencies in terms of weekly returns. However, the financial media is rather quiet. Why, I wonder? Let's dissect everything. Let's discuss what we're looking at and what these signals indicate for your portfolio. For just $4.99 a month, people, if you're interested in joining this channel, be sure to click the join button this week. If you haven't already, you can skip the advertisements. So be sure to press that button, pay attention, keep reading until the conclusion, because you will learn why this is all important, what it implies for XRP, and how near that reversal point we are. Let's get started with Bitcoin. 94,000 is the amount. As of right now, it has down 2% during the last day. At 18 minutes to 7, Ethereum's up 5 and 8%. Strange in a way to see that while everything else is in the red, ETH is in the green. That's not what we're used to. As XRP continues to relax and hold down this $2.80 like no other, USDT and USDC are both coming in at their dollar pegs. With the overall cryptocurrency market capitalization at $2,935 billion, 0 cents, it is currently 0.91%, just above the all-time high of 2020. That $3 trillion psychological threshold is barely a hair's breadth away. Here is the update that I released this morning, not too long ago, in fact. Thus, we will begin precisely where the market is at the moment. This is the chart for those of you who are watching the screen. Allow me to explain. Therefore, at about 96,500,000, the bears are offering substantial liquidity. The bears. This is essentially preventing us from going up to the $100 0 cents range by setting a ceiling. Despite repeated testing, this resistance threshold hasn't yet been overcome. However, it will happen, believe me. Conversely, the bulls have built a solid foundation into the range of $91 to $92, 0 cents. Buyers are continually entering this price range, which serves as a floor, and they are purchasing it whether or not we get close to these levels. The bulls are saying, listen, bears, we won't let this thing drop below 91 to 92,000. Well, guess what? The bears say, we will not allow it to be on 96,500. What term would we use to describe this consolidation behavior? What will we witness? Simply put, a coiling spring effect occurs when a market builds momentum prior to making a definitive move. It will take time to determine whether that move will be up or down, but based on what I'm reading on Twitter, the cryptocurrency narrative suggests that we are about to witness a shift to the upside. What happens to all the coins then? Michael displayed the chart. Let's now discuss the bullish divergence in altcoin capitalization, which may be the most significant technical signal in the market right now. Everything we're seeing now is essentially going to be history. In the history of the cryptocurrency market, this is the longest bullish divergence pattern we have ever seen. To put this into perspective, the previous time a notable bullish divergence pattern formed, it coincided with the market's exact bottom before a huge reversal and uptrend occurred. A bullish divergence, for those who may be unfamiliar with technical analysis, is when the price makes lower lows, but technical indicators such as the RSI or the MACD make higher lows. This indicates a decline in momentum, even though the offer precedes a strong reversal and the price momentarily stays lower. The current divergence duration indicates that a strong reversal is likely to occur when it happens. In essence, we're witnessing a huge accumulation of positive energy that extends beyond the price. Never before has a spring been constricted for so long. Additionally, you will witness all of these coins completely soar to the top when this does in fact ultimately break out. Take a moment to consider it. people, the whales will be revolving while retail is in a panic. Additionally, one oil coin will subtly separate from the others eventually. Which one is that? And can you guess? XRP. Even the Middle East, we received this CNBC, they are avoiding XRP at all costs. They are, of course. How come they wouldn't be? Pay attention to what this man has to say, then share it with me. How he fails to bring up XRP. Ethereum developed smart contracts and a transaction layer in response to Bitcoin's competition. In essence, Solana, Sui, and other coins are contesting Ethereum's hegemony. In order to achieve this, they are lowering transaction fees, making it more affordable, and maybe increasing the number of transactions per second. They are also developing built-in modules that enable scalability. The beauty of technology is that it can improve things. If you have new networks, innovation simply outdoes innovation. Therefore, why not look for more models that are improving upon the current situation? Solana is among the front runners. Many thanks. There you have it. Not a single word about XRP. What does it make you think? Why? Who is advising them to avoid discussing XRP? And we examined the returns from the previous week. You know what? Here, XRP is still in the lead. Interesting, isn't it? Therefore, despite receiving little attention, XRP has demonstrated amazing strength here, outperforming all other leading cryptocurrency returns over the last week. Even in their worldwide coverage throughout the Middle East, financial media, including large networks like CNBC, continue to steer clear of talking about XRP, which is incredibly intriguing. The gap between coverage and performance, as I explained, leads to an intriguing market inefficiency. They speak for themselves. When the 1 week is over, XRP is outperforming by a significant margin. Is in the forefront of the major cryptocurrency market. Despite this, many continue to shun it and avoid discussing it. When there is no accompanying media coverage, this type of price movement frequently signals smart money positioning before general market awareness catches up. We should all be wondering why one of the top performing cryptocurrency assets should continue to be blacklisted from the media. Regulatory status, ambiguity, or other circumstances may be the cause. Investors may be able to profit from the information gap created by the quiet. This is where the XRP chart is displayed when we look at it. As you can see, we have discussed this. Just before Bitcoin moved between 220 and this new resistance level appeared, it appears to have somewhat shrunk between 220 and 225. At the moment, this has been the phone in XRP's corner. Before we have a free run up to 250, we must get a break above 225. The bullish structure of the XRP chart is still present. This line in the center of the screen turns red, green, and green as long as we are above it. It is roughly $2. It will be referred to as 2015 cents. On the XRP chart, we are still bullish. If it breaks below, it will become red. We transform into XRP bears. Being an XRP bear is not what we desire. There have been enough bearish calls and bearish momentum. It's time for the XRP to make a significant upward move. And I am convinced that this will happen in the next 7 years. In the unlikely event that this item does push down, keep in mind that you have support sitting from $1.89 to $2.00, which is located here. You have support from $1.60 to a $1.72. If that doesn't want to hold and behave well, we won't go any lower than that, sorry. To be honest with you, I don't even think we'll reach those goals. We've been discussing the $250, $250.00 to $3.00 range for a while. I do think that trying to get it out there and break through will be a huge pain in the ass. It will, however, occur. Tell me your thoughts. Do you think we're about to make a big advancement? In the comments section below, include your price targets for the upcoming weeks. Would like to know what you think about this. What am I missing? Am I crazy? Am I simply a bit too excited about XRP? If you thought this analysis was helpful, please click the subscribe button and notification bell to receive all of our market updates as soon as they become available. Check out our thorough marker report of every chart we covered today by clicking the link in the caption if you're interested in a more in-depth study. I'll be back with your afternoon update, but that concludes your morning update. Get yourself a beautiful